Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 331, Cubs at Cards.
Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1972-75 Carryover League. We are back in the National League in the best division in the sport in this timeline. My goodness, it's the National League Central. Traditional rivals, Cubs Cards, folks. Cubs Cards. Of course, also in this division, Pirates and Reds. Those two teams won the last two World Series. Cubs Cards want some of their own action. All four teams highly contesting, at least when the season began. But today, we have a story of two teams who have seen hopes and dreams go in absolute opposite directions. For the Cubs, it's been total jubilation this year. For the Cardinals, it's been outright despair. And let's take you to Game 1. Opening up in Wrigley Field. Bob Gibson, Fergie Jenkins. Can't get any better than that, folks. You cannot do better. I don't know what their career records were. That could be a fun thing to look up. Gibson versus Fergie for about, 10 years maybe? Anyway, this one is marred slightly by the dreaded injury to the pitcher of Bob Gibson. However, as the league organizer and chairman of this whole thing, I let him pitch the whole darn game injured with a blister on his finger. I just made his point of weaknesses dots active the whole time. And even in doing so, what did I say earlier? The Cardinals have had a horrible year, and the Cubs, it's been all jubilation. So in this affair, the Cubs get a solo homer in the fourth inning by Andre Thornton. Cardinals tie it immediately in the top of the next inning with doubles by Joe Torre, Mike Phillips. But in the eighth inning, Bob Gibson's still out there with a bloody sock and a bloody blister on his finger, and I don't know what else is wrong with him, but he's theoretically injured. He serves up a Billy Williams home run. And Billy Williams, look, he only had like 36 of them, 39 of them in 72. 37 of them. And Fergie finished the game. That's it. They're both starter nines. What do you want? Someone's winning 2-1, 3-2. And in this year, it's going to be the Cubs every time over the Cardinals. It's because the Cubs signs are good in Magic 8 Ball, and the Cardinals are heartbreaking. Let's go to Game 2 in Wrigley. It's going to be John Curtis for the Cardinals, and it's going to be Bert Hooton for the Cubs. And again, this is typical. So here we go. Top of the first inning, Cardinals optimistic. They get a walk by Sizemore, a single by Reggie Smith, a three-run triple, by Simmons, a single and a double. 3 early runs for the Cardinals to give them a little bit of optimism. But then the Cubs get a walk, single, walk, double, single, error on Kennedy, the third baseman, and a 3-run homer by Jim Hickman. 8-run second inning, and you can feel a deflation again. But wait, we've got more to tell. It's 9-3 after 2 more Cardinals errors in the 6th. But the weakest part of the Cubs is their bullpen, and it showed here. Remember, Fergie threw a complete game. Well, Bert Hooton's not as fortunate. He gives up 3 singles in the top of the 7th, hit his point of weakness. They bring in Don Hood, an import from Baltimore, lefty. A walk, a single, a grand slam, and a single. A 9-3 lead. No, it's gone. 9-9. The Cubs, they're going to have to figure out how to survive their bullpen this year. They got everything else down. They got great right-handed starting pitching. An incredible lineup with depth, great reserve players too. But it doesn't matter because after blowing the lead and tying it at 9-9, what do the Cardinals do? They give it right back. They take it away. They give it right back. Steve Barber comes in, single. Jose Cardinal, 3-run bomb, and that's a windy day in the Windy City, ball blowing out in Chicago. It is a 12-9 victory. So let's go to Game 3 in St. Louis. And I haven't even begun to fully convey the story of a team that is floating on a magic carpet and another team that's just flying a big pile of dog poo into a mountain and crashing the plane. Cubs, Cards, game number 3. So let's start with the Cubs. First, they decide to juggle their roster because it doesn't seem to matter. Whatever they do works. So they put Bill Madlock in the leadoff spot. They brought bench player Carmen Funzone into the lineup. They moved leadoff hitter Jose Cardinal in the 7th. Doug Rowell, a free agent, is the starting pitcher versus Scipio Spinks from the Cardinals, who pitches very well. Top of the 3rd inning. Who else? Carmen Funzone, the bench player, solo shot. Then Joe Torre in the bottom of the 4th ties the game with a solo shot. Nobody scores. We go to the 8th inning, and Al Hrabowski, down 0-2 in the series, in a tie game 1-1, is asked to throw as much as you can. Well, we let him throw 3 innings, folks. I probably could have let him go longer than that, but I didn't think it'd be fair to the Cubs. He's a relief, too. Al Hrabowski gave up a hit in 3 innings. Cardinals couldn't do a darn thing with it. And then after Hrabowski left, Steve Barber came in, and who else but Carmen Funzone hits another home run, and the Cubs win 2-1. Cubs win, Cubs win, Cubs win. Cubs keep beating the Cardinals. This is 2-1, and the cherry on top, St. Louis Cardinals today, 1 run, 14 hits. 1 run, 14 hits. Lou Brock has gotten thrown out, about 10 times this year. It's that AAA nonsense, and he had 118 of them in 74, so I keep trying. I don't know what else to do. Maybe balk him to second base. I'm just trying to steal second base, and he keeps getting thrown out all the time because he's a AAA stealer. And that's just the way it goes when you roll 19s all the time and 20s. It's the way it goes. It's the way she goes for the Cardinals and the Cubs this year. I don't know what to say anymore. I saw this before the series started, and 3 straight games are the same thing. So I have to go look at the standings here, because we have an emerging story in the National League, and that is your Chicago Cubs. It's not just beating up the Cardinals. They played very well against one of their other foes. This is not a fluke at all. This Cubs team is punching a ticket for the playoffs, probably, in this division, barring a historic collapse. And now the Pirates and Reds have to scramble the Jets to make sure that all 3 of these teams make the playoffs. Right now, all 3 of these teams are playing really good baseball versus any of those teams, or anybody besides the Giants out west, or actually anybody besides the Mets out east. So frankly, that's what their playoffs are looking like well before we got a couple months before we go to playoffs, but it's looking that, the National League is sort of, the Cubs trying to ruin the Pirates and Reds' quests. And today, Game 4 in St. Louis. Maybe you folks tuning in on YouTube will change the Cardinals' fortune. Today's starting pitchers for the Cubs. Rick Russell, 1972, 10-game winner, 2.93 ERA in 129 innings, a starter 7. Is Rick. Sonny Siebert for the Cardinals, 72 as well, 12-game winners for Boston, 3.81 ERA, also he's a starter 6. Advantage Russell slightly. Let's get started from St. Louis. This is not a sellout, which is rather disappointing for a Cubs game, as fans have flocked to other things than Cardinals games for obvious reasons. Jose Cardinal leads off. 37 flies to left. Bill Madlock, 59, flies to right. Billy Williams, 6'11", is a K. Lou Brock, 58, short X. Shortstop today is Kessinger, 2E30. Makes the play. Bate McBride, hit by the pitch. Ace Steeler, 0 arm, Dewey. I mean, I just don't know what to do with the Cardinals anymore. Sure, let's try a stolen base. No, it didn't work. Caught stealing. Lou Brock can't steal. Why would you think McBride could? 2 outs. Joe Torre, 59, short X. Again, a 2E30, and you're out. Top of 2. It's Tim Hosley, the rookie. 2-8. Base hit to the right field. Andre Thornton, 2-6. Single 118. Gets it. 2 on for Monsanto. 35. There's your walk. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Del Unser. They're playing back. 5-10. Third X. Who is playing third today? Oh boy. It's Bill Sadakis. A 4-24 at third base. It's a ground ball C. Nice defensive recovery there, Bill. Runners in second and third with 1 out. They're going to bring the infield up. Jim Hickman, 1-6 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Kessinger. 42 rolls first. Not bad. 1-0 Cubs. Ted Simmons leads off in the second. 55. Oh, a 2-base hit off Russell. Cardinals have a nice advantage over the Cubs and Rick Russell. Why? Because Russell is vulnerable to lefties. The Cardinals, even in this era, loaded with switch hitters, something that they would also have in the Whitey years with the Jose Oquendos and Ozzie Smiths and Tommy Hers and those guys. Plenty of switch hitters in this lineup. You got Simmons, you got Reggie Smith, you got Sadakis, you got Don Buford in this lineup, interestingly enough. So, yeah. Reggie Smith, 39 is a roller to first. Runner at third, I'll bring it up. For Sadakis, 1-8 is a K. And with 2 outs, Mike Phillips, the shortstop, 39 is a base hit, and that will score a run. We're tied. Buford, 57 is a K. Top of the third, it's Jose Cardinal, 2-4. Short. Madlock, 55, grounds to second base. And Billy Williams, 68, double 1 at 12, gets it. Tim Hosley, 66, is a strikeout. Ted Sizemore, 38, grounds to short. Back up top to Lou Brock, 3-6. Oh, here we go. He's going to get on. He walks. He's going to steal a base. Oh, thank God. We'll have to find out how many he has. So, yeah, he stole a base. 1 out. Oh, I got to. I'm going to steal third. And I'm out. Well, you know what? I'm just trying to get to 118, folks. You know? And if you're going to steal third, you know, you do it. Stealing third's a lot easier than stealing second. He's not being held on. It's a AAA. Didn't work. Like I said, I haven't stole third yet with Brock in the series because he hasn't stolen second until just now. So now he won't do that either. Bate McBride, 47. Oh, single. Would have been an RBI. He's going to steal. He's in there. He'll stay at second, though, with 2 outs. And Joe Torre, 112, bounces out. I give up on the Cardinals. I really do. Just going to turn the cards over from now on. Andre Thornton, 38's a K. Ron Santo, 63, right X. Right fielder is Reggie Smith, a 3-8. Reggie's good with the glove, makes the catch. Dell Unser, 38, is a strikeout. Bottom of the fourth. Ted Simmons, 312 walks. Reggie Smith, 67 Ks. Bill Sadakis, 33. It's no double play. Top of the fifth. Jim Hickman, 33. Short. Kessinger, 2-3. Pops to short. And Jose Cardinal, 6-6 Ks. In this 1-1 game, the Cardinals don't even have the 14 hits. They only have 3 hits. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, Cardinals fans out there, come on. Let's get this team a win. This is a proud franchise. How many world championships do the Cardinals have? A lot of them. A lot, folks. And, yeah. Bottom of the fifth. Mike Phillips leads off. 1-8 walks. Buford, Comadon, 64. Third X. Now, here you go. Cubs problematic. A 4-24. They decided to, how do I want to say this? Downplayed the defense. So they got Santo at second because they want to get Santo and Madlock in the same lineup. So Madlock's at third, Santos at second. Beckert, the regular second baseman, is on the bench just to get more power and more sticks in there for the Cubs. This should be an error single or something terrible. Let's see if the Cardinals can capitalize on Bill Madlock's defense at third base. He's a 4-24. Well, they get a ground ball C. It's not bad. Runner at second for Sizemore. 1-7, single 1-3. Can't get it. And 2 outs, Lou Brock, 63. Short X. This is Kessinger, 2-30. That's an error on Kessinger. Runners on the corners. Not going to steal. I know what you're thinking. I'm not doing it. Runners on the corners. You got the little plus doohickey in play here. We're just going to roll Bate McBride. He's going to hit a triple, something like that. Here's the pitch of Bate McBride. 59. He bounces to second base. Okay. Top of the sixth. Madlock. 69, Hummer 1-2. Flies out. Billy Williams, 1-9. Let's take a look at the card. I haven't seen any cards today because of the situation. But Billy Williams, 1972 and 1970. 71, not so much. But boy, what a dude. 37 dingers, a 333 average. Somehow just got missed, fell in the cracks. If this was 71, actually in 72, this is more of a highlight. So 71, Torrey, Stargell, Aaron were tearing it up. 72, National League MVP is Johnny Bench. So that makes sense. But Billy Williams probably second on the list, I would guess, for MVP. 1-9, double 111. It's a base hit for Billy. Now you got the rookie catcher, Tim Hosley. Let's start looking at Cubs. This is a playoff team, folks. Let's start looking at them. Hosley, this is a rookie catcher, 1975. It's not going to work out long term. I understand. But in the short term, this is a heck of a card versus righties. 6 homers, 141 at-bats, and a 255 average, the 27 walks. Perfect platoon mate with a Randy Hundley. Here's the pitch to Tim Hosley. 59, skies the right, and with 2 outs, it's Andre Thornton. 68 off of Siebert, triple 1-2, base hit. On the corners, we're about to break Sonny Siebert. Can he get through this inning? He's fighting tooth and nail to get a W. Here's the pitch. Sonny Siebert to Ron Santo. 4-10, short X, shortstop today. Phillips, a 348, and he makes the play. Bottom of the sixth, it'll be Joe Torre for the Cardinals. 34, short. Ted Simmons, 33, pops second base. Reggie Smith, 46, is a base hit. Bill Sadakis, dangerous slugger. 54 off of Russell's card. Triple 1-14 double. It's a triple, and the Cardinals have a lead. Oh, I'd love to put Rabowski in for 3, but that would not be legit, so I won't. So, it's 2-1 Cardinals, runner at third, 2 outs. Mike Phillips. 65, skies to center field. Now, Siebert, I think he's gone, folks. I just got to figure out how to do this without Hrabowski. Or Hrabowski just faced 3 batters in the ninth. Siebert's a starter 6. He's not broken yet, but 2 batters will make him broken anyway. You got Unser, Hickman, and Kessinger. Barber would actually be a good option here if you want to part with Siebert. How many lefties are coming up? Let's say you have to knock Siebert out. We'll do it. I've done every combination. Now you have to hit the point of weakness of Siebert to get him out of there. That's what we're going to do today. Del Unser. I'm sticking with that plan. 34 pitcher. Of course, he can't pitch 10 innings. He only pitched 9. Jim Hickman, 2-4 center. And Don Kessinger, 2-8 center field. That was the move. Siebert gets his BPA reset with a scoreless 7th inning. Stretch time here in St. Louis. We have been enjoying 7th inning stretch music. Little Beaver. This is from 1972. Great session guitar player. First solo LP. Did the Party Time Soul Classic in 74. But in 72 he put this thing out with some accompaniment. Great LP. Let's throw down I'm Losing the Feeling. This is a classic. Little Beaver powering the Cardinals on a victory today. We think. Maybe, possibly. Bottom of the 7th. Don Buford will lead it off. 33. Let's take a look at the Don Buford card. He was discarded by... I shouldn't say that for Strat-O-Matic because it's a card game. You don't say discarded. It's too punny. Too much of a pun. He was let go by the Orioles. They didn't want him anymore. And rightly so, because he hit 206. But the Cardinals... Excuse me, Little Beaver. You're just a little too loud. Background. There you go. Put him in his place there. But he's a good backup to Lou Brock and a defensive replacement for Brock. And he hits lefties well. And that's why we got Buford on the Cardinals as a free agent. 3-3 against a righty. Homer, 1-5. Fly ball the rest. Oh my goodness. He rolls a 5. Gets the dinger. It's 3-1. And the Cardinals have some fortune. They are riding a strong wave with runs in the last 2 innings and a shutdown in the 7th. This could be a turning point for this team. They need a win, folks. Ted Sizemore. 54, triple 1 at 12 is a base hit. Russell, batter away from breaking. It's Lou Brock. 58, short X. Kessinger, a 2E30. He makes another error. Did he make one earlier? Yeah, he did. First and second, nobody out. Bate McBride. 5-10, catcher's X. Hosley's a 4E16. Pass ball, foul out. Second and third, bringing the infield up for Joe Torre. 35 is a walk, and that's your point of weakness for Russell. And the Cubs are going to pull Russell after 6 1/3. They're going to go to Ray Burris. He needs some work in the 7th inning. Ray Burris had a nice year in 73. Oddly enough, the Cubs have had too many great right-handed pitchers. Had to lose some. They had Milt Pappas in 72. 17-game winner. Couldn't keep him. Burris had to go to the bullpen with a different year. And they're eventually going to have to lose Bert Hooton to the Dodgers in a few years. But anyway, Ray Burris is going to come on here in the 7th. With the bases loaded and 1 out. And they're going to play back, because they want to double play out of Ted Simmons. Here's the pitch to Simba. 32 fouls to the catcher. And with 2 outs, Reggie Smith. 47 off Burris is a single to center field. 1 run scores. Brock's running. Oh my God. Please don't tell me Lou Brock got thrown out the plate. let's check this. I think he's safe. 17, 18, 19, -1, 18. He rolls, and 18. God, it's like pulling teeth. So, yeah, that's a 2-run single. Sliding in safely. Torrey ends up at third somehow on the throw. It's Bill Sadakis, 64, second X, but we have Santo there. And that's an error on Santo. And now the Cardinals have gotten over the hump. They finally figured this thing out. They should be able to get out of this, you'd think, right? It is a 6-1 affair as Phillips grounds out. Sloppy Cubs, up 3-0 in this series, looking for a gentleman's sweep, and they played rather poorly today. 6 outs away from a defeat. Like I said, I'm not pulling Siebert until he breaks, even with a 6-1 lead. Jose Cardinal, 65, second X. Sizemor's a 3E21, makes the play. Madlock, 36, single and a 4, cannot get it. Billy Williams, 36, is a single. Tim Hosley, 311, fly ball to right, plus an injury. He'll leave for Randy Hundley. 8 in the books for Sonny Siebert, and the fans, listen to the ovation he gets. You know, it was a big move in the 7th inning to keep him in there and then watch Russell kind of flame out the bottom half. Burst continues into the 8th. It's Don Buford, 65, short X. Kessinger trying to make another error, and he does. Your E30 shortstop. Yeah, he made 3 of them in the last 4 innings. Nice. Put in the wrong spot, though. It belongs there. Sizemor's going to hit and run. Fielder's choice. All right, first for Lou Brock. 3-6 is a walk. 2 on for McBride. I could do a double steal. Sizemore getting thrown out at third, but Brock gets a stolen base when he steals second, right? Or whatever. Dave McBride. 49 is a walk. The bases are loaded with 1 out for Joe Torre. 111 is a 6-4-3. Double play. Oh, that's all right. We didn't need anyone. And into the 9th we go. We're going to let Sonny go for a CG. It'll be Andre Thornton. 47, single 1 to 13. Gets it. Ron Santo, 1-5, 6-4-3 double play, and with 2 outs, Del Unser, 46, single 1 to 6. He lines out. Not much drama at all as the Cardinals comfortably win a baseball game. Much needed. Way to get out of the horrific funk they were in. 7 hits, a run off Siebert, a walk and 6 Ks. He gets a complete game. Burst went an inning and 2/3. He was pretty ineffective there. We faced Ted Simmons and did that. He gave up a hit and an error. And then he gave up 2 more walks. And Rick Russell just didn't have it today. 8 hits and 6 runs. 2 were earned. 3 were earned. Then we had some errors. 3 were earned. 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. 1009, a 108, 6917, 6817. Russell gave up 9 hits. 1009, a 108, 6. Russell gave up 7 hits. There we go. 1009, a 108, 6817, 6817, 1673, 7316. That is game 4. We're going to look at stats before the break, and I'll give you the result of the next game when we play. But let's go take a look at stats now in this portion, because we didn't look at that before, to figure out what's gone right and what's going wrong for these 2 franchises. Even with the correction today, with the Cardinals winning. So, it should be 6-14 now for the Cardinals, and 14-8 for the Cubs. 6-15 for the Cardinals, and the Cubs should be 14-8. Let's look at the Cubs here. 14-8 Cubs. They're hitting .273. They have a .473 ERA, but You have to remember, the Reds have a 4.39, and the Pirates have a 4.22 ERA because they're beating the pulp out of each other, folks. So high ERA, as to be expected. Offensively, Cardinal, 29 for 93. Out of the leadoff spot. 312. Leading RBI guy, Cardinal. He's the leading force here. He might be their all-star, for Pete's sakes. Pitching-wise, Fergie's 4-2 with 3 complete games. You know, the good things about this Cub team is it's pretty balanced. We're not looking at one guy carrying the weight, and that's how you win this game. You get contributions from everybody. Look at Billy Williams. He's having a very decent year. Nothing spectacular. Just 3 homers and 6 ribbies out of your number 3 hitter. Walked a lot. He's 28 for 86. Hitting 326. Yeah. Not a lot of RBIs, though. Scored a lot of runs. All right. Cardinals. What has gone wrong? 6-15. You saw one of those 6 wins. Bob Gibson. He's 1-5. His ERA is over 5. His 2 complete games. He's walked 14 and struck out 45, so don't blame the walk strikeout on that. Al Rabowski has 3 saves, 3 of the 6 victories he saved. Svedakis with that homer card, he's gotten them. A lot of them in garbage time, though. 6 homers, 15 RBIs. Not much else. A 254 hitting team with a 436 ERA. How about run differential? They've scored 81 runs, given up 107. So that's a minus 26. Yeah. And what about the Cubs? Are they a plus 26? 101. Okay, folks. I see something that's not sustainable. The Cubs have scored 101 runs, and I've given up 113. Negative 10 runs differential, and they're 14-8, playing almost 600 baseball. Actually, they're playing 636 baseball. So, they're on a magic carpet ride, but can they keep it going? That will be the key. So after a day off, Game 5 will be a rematch between Bob Gibson and Fergie Jenkins. I'll play that in a 6th and 7th if necessary, so stay tuned and check that out at the end of the video. All right, baseball fans, here's a box score of the game. You just saw the Cardinals beating the Cubs 6-1 behind a complete game of Sonny Siebert. All wine and roses for the Cardinals. Can they keep it going in a Game 5 in St. Louis? That would be a cool thing for the Cardinals to do. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a rematch between Fergie and Bob Gibson. And the stalwarts. Yeah. I probably shouldn't say it that slowly. It sounds weird. The stalwarts just did what they always do, dominate. This is scoreless. Even though there are errors in this game and caught stealings in this game. Who all made errors in this thing? Let's see. Tim Hosley made an error. Kessinger made another error. Tim Hosley made another error. We had an error by Carmen Funzone, made an error. Two-base error by Cardinal in this game. My goodness, what a mess. We had an error by Bill Sadakis. Anyway, when there weren't errors being made, these guys were putting goose eggs up until the 6th inning when after an error. RBI double by Phillips, 1-0 Cards. Cubs tied in the 8th, single, RBI single, Tim Hosley. But in the bottom of the 9th, Fergie Jenkins, trying to match Gibson, who had already thrown 9 innings, giving up 5 hits and a single run, 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. He'd only given up 1 run. He gets the first 2 outs. Then Lou Brock in the leadoff spot. He has power, folks, and he has home runs on his own card. Homer 1-7, and he rolls a 5. Lou Brock solo shot down the right field line to end the game. Fergie gets a complete game loss, 8 2/3, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned. Another 2-1 game out of Fergie and Gibson. But moreover, your Cardinals, 2 straight wins trying to stick it to the Cubs. Yeah, the Cardinals season is pretty much shot. But if they can ruin this season for the Cubs, that would be pretty cool. And they just beat them 2 straight after losing the first 3. So what happens when we go back to Wrigley? Well, when we go back to Wrigley, it's kind of like a correction of previous. You have the Cardinals, again, starting off optimistically with 3 runs in the first, a single, a Babe McBride stolen base, RBI single Simmons, 2-run homer Reggie Smith, 3-zip. And then the Cubs come back. RBI single Cardinal, 2-run homer Jim Hickman. We have a 3-3 game. Top of the 6th, doubles by Simmons and Sadakis, 4-3 game. RBI single by Billy Williams, 4-4 game. It stays that way. John Curtis for the Cardinals, their starting pitcher, really shaky. So we pulled him after 6 innings, giving up those 4 runs because he gave up 12 hits. But Bert Hooton, the Cubs starter, once he surrendered that homer in the first, he settled down nicely. So he left him in the game. So Hooton went 9 innings. No decision. 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Nice relief performance. After pulling Curtis in the 6th, we brought in Chuck Taylor out of the Cardinal bullpen. Gave up a couple hits, a walk, 2 Ks. This will go extras. Both closers called into duty, both relief 3s. Actually, Rabowski's a relief 2. We'd probably let him go 3. 2 innings of relief for Ray Burris. Strikeout, 4 other outs. Beautiful. Rabowski gets out of the 10th with a walk, a double play, and an out. But in the 11th, a Madlock single, Billy Williams strikes out. Then Santo single moves Madlock to 3rd. Runners on the corners, 1 out, infield up. Carmen Funzone. Remember him? He won 1 game earlier with the 2 solo home runs. One of those off Rabowski and extras. RBI double. Carmen. And in an opera, the Cubs and Carmen win 4 games to 2 this series. Wasn't the sweep they were hoping for, but hey, they'll take a 4-2. I mean, you certainly didn't want the Cardinals to come all the way back and win the series 4 games to 3. So here's our current standings right now. Cubs in first place, a game up on the Pirates and Reds. And before the All-Star break, we can find out who their opponent will be by looking over here and looking here. And here we go. The Cubs will play the Pirates. Before the All-Star break, a game ahead of them in the standings, the Cincinnati Reds have an opportunity to beat up on the hapless St. Louis Cardinals, even though they'd won 2 games previous to that game 6 you saw. But we'll call them hapless because, I mean, look, what qualifies as hapless? 7 wins and 16 losses, playing .304 baseball. That's hapless, folks. So the Reds will play them before the All-Star break, and the Cubs will play the Pirates before the All-Star break. And this is the power. This is where we're going to find out where we at. Where we at in the National League. It's all going to come down here. Because, Mets or whatever. Fine, whatever. And the Giants, whatever. But this is where the magic is in the National League, folks. So break up your Chicago Cubs after taking a couple hits to the chin by the Cardinals and losing a couple. They do indeed win this series, returning to Wrigley Field for Game 6. They win it 4 games to 2. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.